USA Radio News, I'm John Summers. The feds are warning corporate America to do their due diligence to avoid worker fraud.
Interim U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, Janine Pirro, discussed a case Thursday involving an Arizona woman who helped hundreds of North Korean IT workers illegally get remote jobs at American companies.
This is a code red. Your tech sectors are being infiltrated by North Korea.
I'm Brian Shook.
Tensions between President Trump and Fed Chair Jerome Powell are rising again over Powell's refusal to lower interest rates.
Trump toured the Federal Reserve Building in D.C. with Powell to look at the controversial $2.5 billion in renovations that Powell signed off on and used the occasion to talk interest rates.
We should have the lowest interest rate of any country, and we don't. So we want to get the rates down, but we also want to get the Fed building finished.
The two had an awkward exchange in front of reporters over a discrepancy in the amount of a new cost estimate. Trump wrapped up the visit with a more conciliatory tone, saying lowering interest rates is more important to him than the building costs. I'm Mark Mayfield.
Top Democrats are set to headline a Gen Z-led political summit in Washington, D.C. today. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Representatives Jamie Raskin and Ro Khanna, along with former Vice President Kamala Harris, are among the scheduled speakers. The event's hosted by Voters of Tomorrow. The Washington State Attorney General's office is suing a business which delivers benefit payments to food assistance recipients. The U.S. Department of Agriculture requires Fidelity Information Services to turn over names for immigration purposes. The lawsuit argues the company would be in violation of Washington state law if it turns over the names. A federal judge is asked to block Fidelity Information Services from giving the information to the federal government. From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
If you want 5 free classic radio shows to add to your library or listen to them anytime you'd like, just go to 100radioshows.com. There's 5 shows waiting for you. Fibber, McGee, and Molly, Suspense, Jack Benny, Gunsmoke, and Richard Diamond, Private Detective. They're yours free. Just put your email in. We'll send you an email with 5 links. The links never expire. The shows sound amazing. They're yours as our gift. At that site, 100radioshows.com, there are hundreds and hundreds of additional classic radio shows for purchase. If you decide to buy any of those shows, use the promo code
radio.
That's right. Use the promo code.
Word is
radio. If you do that, you'll save 70% on your order. Now, that's done at checkout. Make sure you put the promo code in, save 70%. Get some free classic radio shows at 100radioshows.com, at 100radioshows.com.
News reports on the Lou Information Station are presented by Brown and Crouppen.
So what's his handle?
GetBC.com.
You're gonna need lawyers, right? Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify.
800-803-1961. 800-803-1961. 800-803-1961. That's 800-803-1961.
Listen up, fellow timeshare owners. If you're a timeshare owner and you want out at all costs, you're done, frustrated, tired of wasting money, you don't use the darn thing. Get out now. Hire the best Bulldog timeshare cancellation team in the business. Their in-house legal team, headed by a timeshare cancellation lawyer, can help you fight the biggest and baddest companies out there that sell timeshare. At some point, you were using your timeshare, but now you're not, and you're tired of wasting money. Before you go to the poorhouse, Call right now and learn how you can stop the maintenance fees and put more money back in your pocket. Their services cost you a lot less than you think, and you'll save a lot of money over time. Call the Timeshare Exit Hotline now. It's a free consultation.
800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. That's 800-824-5131.
The Lou Information Station presents Hot Take Central 2.0 with Cam Jensen and Jimmy the Cat Hayes.
Ooh, yeah, baby, 8:05 on a Friday. Let's go. Get up and get them in. This is the Lou Information Station, live and on demand at louinfo.com. You can call in at 855-282-8255. We're live on YouTube. Check that out. Go to Lou Info and just press it and then like and subscribe. We're right here. We're going to wave to you. You could also text into the show at 590-314-590-3770. We got a lot to talk about today. Hot Take Central 2.0. Cam Jansen, Jimmy the Cat Hayes, Matthew Rocchio doing our thing. What's up, guys? What's up?
I'm just happy to be in studio.
What's up?
I like it when I'm in studio.
Yeah, I like when you're here.
It's just, it's just better, And I like you guys. I like when the Cardinals win. Obviously, when you beat a team you're chasing for the wild card, that changes everything with your trade deadline strategy, right? Now you're buying. Now you're buying.
Like I'm
going to put that on YouTube, Rock. What have I? Now they're buying.
Well, legitimate. Like I made the joke yesterday, just because we did the math, and if they sweep the Padres, they are, and now other teams between them could go on a run. So this math, this isn't locked in, but. If those teams all go to hit 500 over the next 4 games and the Cardinals sweep the Padres, they could conceivably have a half-game lead in the third wild card spot, which is just insanity. And I can't believe we're still dealing with this after the Diamondback series and then the Rockies series. And yet here it is. They could still have 48 hours of buffer time between being back in the third wild card and the actual end of the deadline.
Why? What do you mean you're dealing with it?
It's pure chaos, and I at this point it's
baseball.
At this point, it's the only thing that can happen to make this season make any sense, because everything that could possibly force them to have to pivot has happened, and so they're gonna have to pivot again.
Yeah, I'm not so sure they're really pivoting because let's not be prisoner of the moment, okay? So you got shut out in Colorado, right? The Diamondbacks are in trade mode. Sell mode, and they just swept the Cardinals. So my thing is, it's one.
Oh, you're right, soldier. Oh, Hayes again.
Yeah, except I'm making the opposite point. I'm not so sure last night's win, which was a nice one. It was good to see the offense bounce back. But your ace, Sonny Gray, got hit around a little bit. Didn't really have answers for that. So I don't know if it was a win.
You think they're going to change their mind?
No. I don't think he's saying.
I think that if there's a day buffer between them being in the third wild card and the end of the trade deadline, I simply think there is a chance that we don't see one of the relievers get moved.
But you're really stuck on that.
Or 2/3 of the 3 relievers that should be moved because it's the smart baseball move. I don't care what anybody says. It's the smart baseball move where this team is to trade valuable expiring
one
contracts.
reliever.
I'm obsessed with 3 relievers, actually.
Okay, and you want them all gone, and if they're not all gone,
get them out of
here. Then lynch the.
I think if you don't trade at least 2 of those 3, actually, I'll change it. If you don't trade at least 2 of the 4 of, let's put Romero in because he's obviously a super cheap contract. He's pitching really well right now. Any team could acquire him for peanuts. So I think 2 of the 4. Of those 4 relievers all make so much sense, and if you're actually going to build towards the future and put yourself in the best position possible for 2026 and 2027, then trading half of those extremely valuable trade pieces just makes the most sense flat out.
But that's the chaos you're dealing. That's like
that's
we don't
chaos.
know where we are yet.
Chaos.
That's a YouTube hot take. Make the face. Here's my thing.
It's not
tell me
YouTube
if I'm wrong.
It's really
tell
not.
me if I'm wrong.
And see how like pallid I am. It's just like I'm not freaking out about it.
They'll put a
Are the
picture
fan
of
base
you like
agreeing
this.
with you? majority.
How do you know what the fan base thinks?
That's
Based
why
on
I'm
social
asking.
media? You
I
think
don't know.
he knows?
Yeah, he's on
Jim
radio.
Jim obviously knows.
He's
I
on
don't
radio
know.
every single day, all day long. What are people saying on the text line? What are they saying?
Do you think that that's a
Do
good
they
indication?
want them to trade the in the bullpen and still try to go, even if they're in the mix?
The people that we have on these shows, yes, I would say they do.
Okay,
And
that's all.
But that's not what people think. That's people active on social media. I'm not saying I know. I don't know. But here's the point. He's
Those are the
talking about.
fans.
You're right. I don't deal with the fans.
Well,
I don't
are
know.
you talking to them about this all the time? I'm just saying, like, these guys are still texting
You know me, I live
150
in a
texts.
bubble.
I'm just
I live in
saying.
But my point is, he's talking about all relievers, getting rid of all. Like, that's his high watermark. It doesn't make sense to me. Yes, I think most people would like to see them be in a sell mode and get something back. I think what could happen if they go on this crazy ride, right? And they're going to need help along the way, that they will do a little of what I think most people thought, selling and buying. I think where he's drawn a line in the sand is if all the relievers aren't gone. And I'm saying that's a bridge too far.
I literally just
get that.
I literally just didn't say that. I said
you
two
said
of the
JoJo,
four.
2 of the 4.
I said 2 of the 4.
I think,
and
Helsley and Maton, those are the guys you want gone.
I think the 4-man group would be Helsley, Maton, Matz, and Romero. They're all expiring contracts. They've all shown they've all shown that they have value.
I'm trying to define your term.
Yes, you can get prospects for them. And I just think when you look at is right now, it makes the most sense to trade your most valuable expiring contracts
if Maton
for the future of this team.
And Mats are gone, then you're fine. Even if, and I'm not saying it's going to happen. I just pointed out that nothing really changed except you got a win last night. So don't lump me in there.
No.
But if they trade, I'm trying to find common ground here because that's what I do, Cam. I'm a common ground guy. If you trade Mats and Maton, okay, and then let's say they also trade away some other extra piece or redundancy to get a right-handed bat just in case they get in.
That'd be crazy.
Are you okay? Or no? I'm trying to define.
No, that's fair. No. To be clear, I think that, and you can say that they're trying to do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I will refer to it as fence sitting. I think or having their cake and eating it too. I think that the current I'm not saying it's not a legitimate decision-making process and way to go by a trade deadline in a lot of other years. I just think with this year, in the context of this season and what your roster is, the best move is to pull your pieces back and wait until 2026 and 2027 to push them forward. And that means trading your most valuable asset to get the best return, which would mean trading Helsley and Maton. And then you keep Matz and Romero to say, we still want to be a competitive baseball team. That's fine. But trading the biggest, most valuable pieces that are going to get you the most prospects back in return and the most valuable prospects back in the return, that's the smartest baseball move for this roster for this season, in my opinion.
So we're not too far off.
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
I just think it's a
There's some
mistake.
yelling.
Could they change your mind in the next 12,
and
13, 14, 15 games?
That's been my point.
Well, you should be flexible.
I think, and I think sometimes you can be. This is not the roster to be flexible, in my opinion. This was the roster to say, this is our plan, and we're not. And while if we win games, fine, we'll go on a run, but we're not going to change our decision-making process, which was going to be things have to be building for the future, runway and asset management, and using. And unless the trade you find, and I think this is a unicorn deal, if the trade you can find is a bunch, you were able to package 3 or 4 prospects who, because right now you do have a glut of prospects at certain positions. If you're able to package, the second or third person on that depth chart of prospects at 3 positions, if that's the deal you put together, I'm fine with one of those deals. That's completely fair. That would be a fine deal because you if it's for a young bat, because you're trading for the future and you're not trading from the group of people who have to come up in the next 2 years to make you effective. That would be a fine trade, and I'll admit that. But I think any kind of trade that involves any kind of move that involves holding on to expiring deals would be a mistake. But you're right. If they can't acquire a young bat,
I don't even care. If you have a right-handed bat, which they need, you have control this season and next. I don't understand why that would set people off. And
that would be a good move out.
And also, like you talk about a unicorn, I could be wrong, but a unicorn also is assuming you're going to get great market value for every piece on an expiring contract. Sometimes it don't happen.
And sometimes it doesn't happen.
For whatever that way. So my point is, we're not too far off. And again, I'm not saying I'm the one that just pointed out last night's win was just a win.
You say that, but at the same time, we are talking about two pitchers who are one guy who's shown that he's can be extremely valuable in Maton, and a guy who has extremely high value over the last 18 months and has stabilized some of that value over his last 5 or 6 appearances. So I agree. You can't always just guarantee you're going to get the biggest amount. And at this point, heck, at one point, winning against the Padres might help because maybe other teams now, John Mozeliak, when he answers the phone call, can go, well, I don't have to sell you. I don't have to give you Ryan Helsley. I'm not in a position where I have to sell. I could be in a wild card team this year. So actually, maybe winning actually kind of helps them get more for Ryan Helsley at the dealing table. But I just think
don't worry, one win.
I'm saying if they win, if they sweep the Padres,
you know what gets you?
And are in this position.
It's not. Yeah, maybe so. But what really is you hold your cards until it's late in the game, and then you have leverage because there might be a couple of teams that really need some, and then it could blow up in your face, and you don't get what you want, and you're stuck with the guy. It's gambling a little bit, but I don't think we're that far off. And again, my point is, last night's win was nice to see the bats come on. Wasn't a great win, didn't change my worldview on things. I understand that they have 7 games coming up, 6 more with the Padres. That's a team they're chasing. Scary thing is a couple other teams in the mix between the Cards and the Padres that will have a say about it as well. If everything went, topsy-turvy and the Cards win, and next thing you know, they have a share of the wild card, I would say, of course, you change your view and you go back because you say that this was their plan. Their plan has changed. Like, Arenado's gone. No, he's not. We're going to get runway for this guy. All right, well, this guy was hurt, didn't get a lot of run, whatever it is. This guy didn't hit, so we're going to not give him run. Some guys get runway, some don't. Oh, we're maybe a contending team. We're going to change our view a little bit. You have to adapt on the fly. And I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if something crazy happened there in there, then they're going to adapt again, and they're going to do what they also said at certain points, which is we can do 2 things at once. We can build toward the future and maybe enhance a team that needs it. And you can make moves that will maybe help now and next year too. I'm just saying, I think it's irresponsible, not you, but it's irresponsible to act like if you don't sell every asset you have right now, even if you're not getting the deal you want, then you don't care about the future and it's time to burn it all down.
Here's my thing. I'm not going to sit here and qualify. We'll only make the deals if you get the options you want. Well, obviously this only makes sense if they're getting the offers they want. I feel like that's all fill-inable by the people who are listening to these conversations. And so, yes, we're always playing with this void on each side of things that it might not happen, and you don't know if they're getting the offers, and you don't know if teams are offering what they want. But the bottom line is winning against the Padres does not change who they're going to be in October. And it shouldn't change your perception of who they're going to be in October. It shouldn't change the Cardinals' perception of who are going to be in October. They're not going to win in October. Yeah, and if you're talking about making bets, the odds of things are that the risk and the making the wager that you're going to be a playoff team is not as good of a wager as selling the assets for building.
Army had to go through that a couple years ago with Paul Stastny. They were right in the mix too, and they traded him away. It is what it is.
I never thought I can forecast. I understand when there's a lot of teams in the mix, your chance of winning it all.
It's not about
everything. But I refuse
to look at the roster, Jim.
Hold on. That's what they said about teams in the past that haven't won.
Isn't
it
those
happened.
Teams?
How do you know?
What if Walker starts bombing, baby?
This team doesn't have the heft of those players that were on the teams you're referring to.
Are you kidding me?
They don't have that heft.
Are you kidding me?
They don't have the clout. They don't have the history.
Do you remember some of these teams that were?
I do remember.
Do you remember in 06? That was a team that was unbeatable.
This is not the 06 team. It doesn't have the bats of the 06 team. It doesn't have the clout and starting pitching of the 06 team.
I'm saying that team was unbeatable. There are other teams. 04 where they ran out of gas? Like that was the team everyone thought would win. You don't really know.
Who'd they get beat by? They didn't get beat by a wild card team limping in. They got beat by a team
What's a different
full
world
of
now?
3 Hall of Famers.
What if they creep in and win a round? Would you be happy with that?
Listen. I'll be shocked, and I'll admit I was completely wrong. But the bottom line is I don't think they should be planning to win a round, because I think that if you look at their pitching, it's an unreasonable expectation. It's not. Sorry, I keep phrasing it that way, and I don't want to phrase it that way. It's a bad bet to make that they're going to win a round in the playoffs based on their pitching. Full stop.
Why you ever go to Vegas and you put a couple of numbers down? I mean,
I don't know.
There's a difference between
I play baccarat and blackjack.
There's a difference between
I don't gamble.
There's a difference between going all in on something and saying, okay, we're going to put some money here, some money there. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, yes, getting rid of some assets for the future, but also seeing if you can enhance the team. To me, there's a big difference. And
Those
you're
things
saying
don't have
there
to-
should be none of that because this team has no shot of winning. I always
just
say,
accepted.
Take your shot.
If
too.
you can get the right-handed bat by trading from positions of depth, that's fine. But that needs to be a completely separate move of saying that bat move is also for 2026, 2027. That getting that bat is not for October 2025. It's for 2026 and 2027. And so therefore, to make the best moves to go into 2026 and 2027, you sell your most valuable expiring assets, because that's what smart teams who are not going to compete in the playoffs that year do.
Who else is on that list?
And that's what you are.
Who else is on that list? Expiring contracts.
It's those 4 pitchers are the biggest ones in my opinion. I don't know off the top of my head if there's a big bat that's expiring that I can't think of that I'm ignoring that's expiring.
And these things come out of nowhere, Rock. I mean, these deals generally you always get taken by. I don't know who's available. I haven't even gone through. All my point is, which I think it's probably a pipe dream, is if things change and the Cardinals are suddenly in the picture for a wild card, which they're on the outside looking in now. Yes, I don't think it's wrong to change your approach. No one said they're going all in, but that you try to do it's
a tweak.
You buy and maybe you sell and maybe you buy with an eye toward assets that'll still be around. That's all, and that doesn't mean you have to get rid of everyone. Maybe you change. You're going to hold on to this.
And I've been saying this since April, and this is. Don't change your mindset. Stop changing your mindset. We had Jesse Rogers on really early in the season, and I asked him, and I was like, you watched the Cubs pull off a successful rebuild. You've watched the White Sox flounder for years, keep trying to reset and rebuild. What's the biggest difference? Sticking to a plan. And I've always believed that, and I've asked other people who have looked at rebuilding teams, and it's the same thing. You have to stick to a plan. You can't keep resetting and pivoting because things change for a month, because those aren't real things you're reacting to. You're reacting to small little blips in the cycle, and that's not what you need to react to. You need to react to big long-term trends, and that's not what the Cardinals have been doing this season, and that's been a mistake.
There's been teams that have been in rebuilds for a long time because their drafts are awful, because it's hard to handicap which are the draft choices. Look, hindsight's 20/20. I get it, but that's not the easiest thing to do. And no one is saying scrap your plan. They're saying adapt it a little bit to see if you can make something happen with this opportunity that's been presented to you. I don't think we're that far off.
I think you're both right.
But it's kind of like you refuse to believe that there's a difference.
You're just changing my word up and acting like it's the same thing. You can say they're just adapting the plan. In my opinion, adapting and moving from the plan is a mistake this year. Because you just
said it was okay to get a bat.
That's not that doesn't change. No, that's not changing the plan at all. That can be part of the plan, because you're not trading any of your big name prospects that have to impact you in the next couple of years. And that's why this trade isn't going to happen.
And who are your big name prospects that you think they're going to be dealing? I'm just curious.
I mean all the big name pitchers. They're all injured right now, so I don't know if
so they don't have a ton of value. But who are the? I'm just curious.
JJ Weatherholt.
Oh, no one's trading. What I mean, then who? That's ridiculous. They're not trading.
Thank you for getting to my point. You're not getting a right-handed bat because you have nothing to offer.
Wait,
you have Nolan Gorman, Nolan Gorman, Lars Nootbaar, and a bag of balls?
I'm not saying you're getting a start. You get who's their right-handed bat off the bench right now?
They don't have one.
Well, they got Pozo. I like that.
I love Pozo. I wish he wasn't coming off the bench.
But you can maybe. I'm not talking about you're getting a perennial all-star guy for some guy a pitcher in the minor leagues who's hurt, like for Rahm. I'm not saying you're going to get that.
Corey Dickinson.
Well, he was the guy everyone always wanted until he got here.
Until he got here,
and then they didn't want him.
They didn't want
That's
him
one of those
anymore.
guys that his name was everywhere. You talk about what fans want, and that way you got to get him. And he did have one stretch where he had like 12 straight.
Too. My apologies. I said Dickinson.
It's Dickerson.
It's Dickerson, yes.
And he did, I think, have like 12 hits in a row or something crazy. But then he was terrible. So I think there is common ground, and I think it's a rational argument to have. We're not that far apart as I guess how we express what it is. To me, they've always been that we can do both, and I think that
you're 100% right about that.
And it has to do with if they actually string together wins, which to me last night doesn't mean they're going to do that. We'll wait and see.
Yeah. We needed to see a change in how this organization was being run because it was being run in a way that wasn't successful for building long term, and we can clearly see that. And part of that, in my opinion, was the mindset of always needing to take this middle way and doing little things on both sides. And I thought this was the year where they had to make the change, partially because of the transitional factor of the front office. And I thought that would be a chance for them to finally say, listen, this is a new era, and we're going to prepare and give Bloom the best possible chance. And part of that means moving these players. Maybe that's the issue with a transition as it has been, where you already have the guy in and the other guy who's leaving is still making the decisions. I didn't criticize that factor, and I won't now, because that would be a little hindsight. I just thought the messaging from the Cardinals, and I'm not saying they shouldn't have changed the thought process when the Arenado trade doesn't go down, but it seemed like even after that was clear that it wasn't going to happen, there was a definitive thought process about how they wanted to handle this season. And you're right, they did pivot. And it's a completely fair argument to say that those pivots are reasonable, and you want them to be free thinking and you want them to be adaptable. This is one of the times where I wanted them to be stringent and not and unbreakable on an opinion, and they moved, and that's why I'm perturbed.
Okay, I think adapting is always a good thing. That's a big part of life. You always have to adapt because circumstances change, so you always have to adapt. And I think the way they adapted was kind of minuscule in the big picture. They still got runway for some guys. Everything had to change because Arenado wasn't going to be here.
We're talking about
now he's here.
The big definitive thing we're talking about is not the things that have happened, Jim. We're talking about if all the things happened lead to a non-decision on the 31st, and that's where the big reaction will come from. We're talking about, and that's the big thing of, is their mindset changing, leading to mistakes? We don't know the answer to that until August 1st.
Well, I think we have an answer for now, because I think Mo was pretty clear that they are in a seller's mode. He said, we are going to do things because the standings matter that will benefit us, that will benefit us next year and in the year following, and we have an eye toward the future.
Cam, the standings matter. I can't trade away Ryan Helsley when I'm in the third wildcard spot.
Actually he was talking about trading and selling. It was you weren't there. I know you read other people's stuff and then get but I'm just saying, to me, it was very clear that at that moment, based on what they saw, where they were agreeing with you, they are going to be in a mode where it's moves for the future.
And so if they are in the wild card spot,
what if you went down the road? He said, well, it can be. He basically said it can be fluid, but he used the word fluid.
Yeah, because you put it in his mouth, Jim.
It was in a question. So I walked away thinking, and I read other people's stuff, and they
yellow journalism.
Some were with me that Mo basically
leading
said,
question.
It doesn't matter what happens. Well, actually, it was a follow-up. It was actually a follow-up, meaning, is there any move to be fluid? That was my follow-up. But I got the impression that the decision had been made, that they would like to just focus on the future before the trade deadline and not this year, because they didn't believe that they were in a position to do anything.
Well, let's see what the fans have to say. I'm sure they're going to be right on everything. Morning, happy Friday. Sell for the future of the program. For the love of God, do not try this year. Sell, rights holder. Rooster chimes in. Why keep anyone just to hang around?
Rights holder. Oh, Hayes.
That wild card, as Rock said, No way this team competes in the playoffs with this rotation. That's the point.
Okay, and I just want to say that people that respond to stuff like that are fans, and I respect them and love them, and I appreciate them listening. But that people that respond to those things aren't necessarily how the entire fan base feels. Maybe it is. I'm not, but I think it's a fair question to ask. But please remember that a lot of these same people were the guys going, "Get Fetty! Get Fetty! This rotation sucks! Get Fetty!" Am I wrong, Brock?
Oh, you're probably right, yeah.
The same people they wanted Fetty. They wanted a lot of these moves that were made that didn't pan out.
Cat doesn't realize that if they try this year, then they're in the same position next year. Get better for the future, Colton.
Yeah, I didn't say that they shouldn't get rid of the assets that they can. I said you can do both. If they're, and again, it's an if, which isn't the situation now. If they go on a run and they're close. That's all.
If.
Here, look, I'm going to go on YouTube and go, here's my picture. Burn it down!
What is going to be the highlight of the next show, you think? Exactly what you just said?
Burn it down!
I mean, we'll have some fun with this whole conversation about what happens if they.
Does Randy agree with you?
Yes, Randy agrees with me. He thinks that they should plan for the future. But he's also been adamant that they haven't changed their mindset, and that it was in that even after not being able to trade Arenado, their plan was that they were going to sell expiring assets, and they weren't expecting to compete this year, and they might make little moves here and there if they are, but they're not going to make big moves like holding on to their best assets just because. And that's kind of always been his opinion. He's more in the middle ground than I am.
Jimmy, we wanted Fetty before we knew the organization was in ruins. Things have changed. Colton.
The organization ruined Fetty. All right. I don't really understand that. Fetty, the organization ruined Fetty.
No, he said the organization's in ruin. I don't know. I don't know. Colton,
listen,
call in.
The Cardinals have made decisions that have been wrong, that have led to this. Some of the younger players haven't developed in the way that the Cardinals had hoped. There have been a lot of bad decisions. That's about to come to an end because Chaim Bloom has taken over. But Fetty was one of the decisions, and he wasn't good this year. And I'm hoping he gets a fresh start. He's pitched well before. Maybe the league is caught up to how to handle his sweeper. Maybe he's lost. He's a very nice guy, but he wasn't good here.
He wasn't good. I just want the Cardinals to have a plan to win today, not in the future. Win. Cam, by the way, it's 88 degrees water temp here in the Gravois Arm at the lake. Kevin from the lake. What's up, buddy? No one is guaranteed a future. This is why we need to win today.
I just listen. You have to win today, meaning to win today means you have to sweep the Padres, who are a pretty good team, and then hope the teams between you and the Padres also tank.
And then you have to break every historical and personal number for your pitching staff to win a series.
So listen, this is where it's a long shot. And what we're arguing about is basically a long shot possibility, right?
And I think
and how they would handle it, the nuances of how we see it are also slightly different.
Yeah, and
so in a way,
and that's the
we're
thing about
standing
this.
Together on common ground.
And that's why I sometimes I'm going to criticize, but at the same time, I also need to say this is why these decisions are never as simple as even when we dive into like this and we qualify it 19 different ways to hell. Even then, the most complicated we make these decisions and these conversations, we're scratching the surface of the conversations that are being had behind the closed doors. Because I mean, they are having these exact conversations. You may not like it, and that's my thing is I don't need to agree with the team's plan necessarily. I just want to be confident that the adults in the room have a plan. And to that point, I am confident. I don't like maybe that they're pivoting from it, but I am confident that the adults in the room have a plan.
It's always good to have
with
a plan.
This franchise, and that's the big thing. And part of that is because my brain has been broken by my favorite team of my entire lifetime was clearly being run by adults in a room who did not have a plan in the St. Louis Rams. And so now at this point, I'm just okay as long as I can see the franchise has a plan.
Wait,
and this
but
team
you're
does.
admitting something that I've kind of said for a while is that we don't really have all the information. Even though you write a thing that this writer wrote, whatever, that we don't really know.
But
we don't
are
really
people
know.
smart enough to like read most things with the context that like you're dealing with 15% of the information here, because even the insiders don't get to see the actual back door, the actual back room.
I'm not so. I think fans want information and they run with it because they're fans. I'm a fan. I'd like to run with positive news, but I don't know. I have no idea about a deal they're brewing or who's going where. I do think we're going to start seeing a lot of moves now. We saw one last night with the Diamondbacks, the team that swept the Cardinals, sell.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Still about baseball, but I was just kind of curious. How old is that McGreevy?
24.
Okay, so he's 24. I was thinking he might have been a little younger than that. I was wondering because you guys were talking about where he's staying. I was wondering if any of the older guys.
Oh, he's 25.
25.
Yeah, he's not like staying with any older guys like a young kid would do with Wald or anything like that. All right.
So apparently he had an apartment here that he kind of hung on to with nothing in it.
Yeah.
And I told you it was a funny thing when we are getting on the plane to go back from Colorado. There he is with a suitcase, and we're like, I said to him, "Where you going?" He goes, "Memphis." I go, No. And he goes, "No, just picking up my car.
I gotta get
and
my
some
stuff,
clothes."
baby.
But he said,
it's a good feeling.
He got a mattress, so he's gonna get a bed frame.
Yeah, you got to get that done. Don't sleep on a mattress.
He's enjoying it. He earned a shot in the rotation.
Yeah.
And now he's getting
Good
it.
for
Now
him.
we'll have some certainty. The problem, and he's a good young pitcher, and who knows what he's going to be. I like his makeup because he doesn't get rattled. I think he's a hardworking kid. But let's be honest, you talk about organizational change. This has been a pitch to contact ball club for the longest time. And now their draft was pretty clear. Swing and miss. Baseball's cyclical. Everything comes back. But now it's swing and miss, right?
McGreevy and Liberatore have two of the highest ratings in baseball for location plus, which is just a stat that kind of gives you how good is the pitcher at locating their pitchers. But they're both like at the very, very bottom of the list in stuff plus, which is velocity, movement, power pitching, and things like that. So it's just they both can be very successful. But I was reading an article about how like pitchers with their profile in the last 10 years in Major League Baseball, there's not a lot of them that have been super successful. And ironically enough, Jose Quintana is one of the more successful ones. And it is interesting though, because they will be successful. I'm confident in that, but it is interesting that they are such a stark dynamic of they can locate the living daylights out of it, but the stuff plus is just the very bottom of the list.
To me, Liberatore is a little different.
Little
because
different, yes.
I think his stuff will get better.
He doesn't get people to whiff, but he gets them to chase.
So here's the thing with him. I also think, look, they're managing his innings, okay? He was in the bullpen. It's a whole different thing. Where we did see more swing and miss, and I think he's kind of getting adjusted. When they got him, he was the guy with the unhittable curveball, if you recall. Curveball's not as much of a weapon now, but I do think he's got a good fastball. I think he'll be more – I'm not saying he's going to be a strikeout king. I think as he goes along, because, look, that guy is like a student of the game, he will be more swing and miss. But it is funny. For years, it was swing and miss. We didn't want swing and miss. We wanted pitch to contact. And now the draft, it's clear they want swing and miss. And those guys ain't coming tomorrow. Those guys might not be here for a couple of years, maybe, because you don't know who's going to make it. So there's a lot of things you could look at, change in direction. But Heimblum's coming, and it's going to be his. Why'd you say it like that?
Because it's it's Chime, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
CH.
Chime. I said it wrong.
I don't know. I just had to say something. You guys want to go to break and talk a little Hawkster? Another one down. 80s.
Do people die in threes, or we just count in threes, right? We just re-rack.
Is there a fourth?
Yeah, the musician.
The jazz musician.
Oh, Chuck Mangione died.
Yes. Yeah, dude.
I forgot about
I didn't know
that.
him too well.
Love
But we got to throw the other cat from the Cosby Show in the mix.
That was
there.
that was
for sure.
But that was
the three.
That's an
and
80s
then
kid.
Mangione
was Ozzy.
The 80s kids got rocked.
Jamal Warner and Hulk Hogan. But yeah, Chuck Mangione's a monster.
We'll talk all about that next. We're going to go to break real quick. We'll be back. This is Hot Take Central 2.0.
Broadcasting live from the J. Randolph Jr. Studios in Kirkwood. once got catfished by a girl in Kirkwood. Before catfishing was really even a thing. This is the Lou Information Station. Streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com. With live and on-demand content on YouTube. And catch all of our local shows on Apple, Spotify, and wherever you listen to podcasts. KLIS 590 AM, Wood River, St. Louis.
Hats off to family fun on Sunday, July 27th, when the Birds host the Padres. That day, 20,000 fans, 16 and older, will get a City Connect throw pad courtesy of Quick Trip. And thanks to Haichu, 10,000 kids ages 15 and under will take home a Cardinals hat with custom charms. Upgrade your and your kiddos' game gear. Snag your tickets today at cardinals.com/promotion.
This is Alec Burleson, St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Summer in St. Louis means one thing: Cardinals baseball. It's more than a game. It's an STL tradition. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, the boom of the fireworks. It's the soundtrack to summer for Cardinals Nation. So grab your cap and glove and take your spot in the stands, because in St. Louis, baseball is more than a melody. It's our favorite song.
LouInfo.com news headlines. Brought to you by Brown and Crouppen. GetBC.com.
This is your LouInfo.com news update. A man accused of crashing his car into a motorcyclist and fleeing the scene of that fatal car accident has asked the judge to lower his bond. St. Louis County Police say the suspect was leaving a gas station in Earth City, pulled out in the traffic, and caused the fatal wreck. Jennifer Edgering, 54, was riding on the back of a motorcycle, which had a green light at the time. The suspect is in jail on a $250,000 bond, but had a bond reduction hearing on Thursday. A Franklin County man, Matthew Cahill, 41, appeared in federal court Wednesday and was sentenced for committing bank fraud with stolen checks. Prosecutors with the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Missouri said Cahill and 3 others stole personal business checks from outgoing or delivered mail. A U.S. District Court judge sentenced Cahill to 23 months in prison and ordered him to pay $30,737 in restitution. For the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com, I'm Sandy Connor.
Now, LouInfo.com weather. Presented by STL Sports Central. St. Louis sports. Anytime, anywhere.
Here's your LouInfo.com weather update. An extreme heat warning is in effect until 7 p.m. Tuesday, so we have a long stretch of hot and humid weather coming up. Might get a shower or thunderstorm today, sunshine and mid-90s, the heat index 105 to 110. Overnight, partly cloudy, upper 70s, and then Saturday and Sunday both look hot and very humid, mid-90s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Hey everyone, Cam Jansen here to tell you about the experts at Fast Signs in Earth City. Fast Signs can handle any and all of your business visibility needs, from traditional signs and graphics to digital to core graphics and anything in between. Fast Signs in Earth City has you covered. The station uses them, the Blues use them, and you will love the work they do. Call 314-344-4400 for your custom signage needs today. That's Fast Signs in Earth City, 314-344-4400.
Join your fellow St. Louis City SC fans at Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill. All St. Louis area Hot Shots locations are proud to be a part of City on Tap, presented by Michelob Ultra, the official network bringing St. Louis City fans and ice-cold beer together. Catch every exciting moment of the 2025 MLS season at Hot Shots. Since 1990, Hot Shots has championed St. Louis sports, and they're thrilled to keep the tradition alive for St. Louis City SC. Find the Hot Shots near you at hotshotsnet.com.
In your city with Kelly and Gordon. It's the hottest happy hour in STL radio. A high-energy, high-impact weekday radio show blending relationship values, celebrity buzz, community love, and sharp business insight. This is where storytelling meets strategy. It's the pulse of this city, bringing the energy, stories, and voices of STL to life. In your city with Kelly and Gordon. Weekday afternoons at 4, only on the Lou Information Station. Back to more of Hot Take Central 2.0 with Cam Jansen and Jimmy the Cat Hayes.
These two men here, are they with you?
On the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Trying to put these headphones on. A lot of people have trouble with these. Hold on one second, baby. There we go. All right, we're back.
People don't have their own
8:44.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, these are nice.
Come on.
Except for when it does that. They're comfortable.
Oh, they squeeze my head. I don't like them.
Oh, well.
They give feedback where you shouldn't have feedback.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't notice it.
that's why I ditched it.
I don't notice
Kim,
it.
you've been doing radio for 10 years now. Do you not have like a pair of headphones?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
Charlie Tuna is really expensive.
Yeah, I do, actually. I got a couple pairs. It's weird, though. I don't like the when you do an interview and you put the wireless ones in, they don't fit in my ears and they fall out. Then they go off. Then one of them has like 2% battery. The other one has 90% battery.
Oh, never use wireless headphones.
I hate them. Well, a lot of people used to do that.
Me.
Oh man, it's bad.
Sometimes there might be a delay.
It's bad.
I don't like it.
Hey, do you have that audio cut of Sonny Gray post game?
Yeah, I mean,
It's not even worth it. I mean, play a few seconds and then we'll drop out of it because Sonny's a different cat, and like you got to be able to understand what he's saying, and sometimes I can't. Like you have to understand he's just different. He is so locked in on every aspect of pitching that it's above my pay grade. Like, and then sometimes he goes on a stream of consciousness, and I'm not sure what he's saying. And again, it's not a knock. He just knows more about this stuff than I do.
Play it.
I mean, I think you give up 2 in the first, and then you respond with 1, and then have a big second inning, and then you kind of give it back to them. And I mean, I think this was a testament to our offense continuing to put pressure on, and then our bullpen coming in and any breathing room that they kind of had, the bullpen, they came in and shut the door. And that was I mean, there's not a right or wrong way to win a game in this league, and it makes it a lot easier on my end when we are able to the offense to pick me up like that, the bullpen to come in and shut the door like that, and you come away with a win. So personally, I've got some work to do. I've got some things to kind of figure out, and some I've personally have to be better, but it makes it a lot easier, for me when the rest of the guys kind of pick me up like they did tonight.
And he talked about 3 things, but he wasn't specific of what they were. Who provided that audio? Was that B-Shave?
That was from our friends over at KSDK.
Okay, so let's courtesy. We always have to courtesy. They're not an audio service for us. But get that mic a little closer because Sonny's kids, he's a good dad, are always running around.
Oh, man.
Let's get that mic a little
closer.
Only we can criticize the people we courtesy audio from.
No, I can't.
Okay.
I was hoping it was like B-Shape or something like that.
No, I forgot to text him.
Oh, man.
You should just be emailing me it, but okay.
I thought he was going to say something controversial or something. I don't know. You guys pumped that up. I was like,
no, we didn't. No, actually, we pumped that up, Ron?
He's just kind of an odd bird. He's just kind of an odd cat.
All right.
I said it's hard to decipher. And
what were you at? What did he say that where you were laughing at? He said it's one way to win, another way to win.
There's no right way to win a game is such a hilarious comment in my opinion. There's no right way to win a game. It's because it means nothing. It's I mean, man, talk about filling space. That's a great one. I don't know if I've ever heard that one before. That's good.
His brain's going 100 miles an hour. He's thinking about everything.
That's like Larry Brown 2001 76ers kind of like post game chat. No right way to win a game.
By then, though, I mean, he hadn't even gotten over what he talked about as, for him personally. And he basically said there's things that he needs to do better. I think he mentioned 3, and he never really got into it.
I appreciate it, Jim. I appreciate it.
Thank you. That's what we need. Bring him back. Can we get him back?
I would love to have Jack Flaherty back. Dear Lord Almighty.
How's he doing?
I haven't actually looked at his stat line this
Last
season.
I looked, he was okay. I know he had probably been dealing with an injury. Last I looked, he was okay. That guy had stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
what do you got? Want me to Google it?
No, I got it in front of me right now. So this year with the Tigers, he's got a 4.77 ERA. He's 5-10 in just over 103 innings. Although he is about to finish with a career high in strikeouts per 9, he's got 11.3.
Like that.
Strikeouts per
Swing
9
and
this
miss.
season. Yes,
We're
swing
in
and
on
miss.
that. We're in on that. We're in on
second
that.
run of Jack Flaherty. I don't think it'll ever happen.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
You guys see that Savannah Bananas guy making his tour on CNN, and he goes out there and he does the backflip guy. He does a backflip and lands right on his face.
Ooh.
Boom! Like knocks himself out live on. You didn't see that?
That's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
I don't like watching things that are that embarrassing.
It just
Cam.
popped up all over
You're-
the place. And I'm
you're-
like, so
you're-
this guy,
you're a glutton for
this guy does
punishment.
backflips all the time, and he was on some kind of weird surface. And they're like, hey, and he comes out and he's like, I didn't bang my billet, Mom. I didn't. And then he does a backflip and literally goes, bam! Like, gets up and goes, that's never happened before. And he had to do an interview. I don't know. What do you got?
Tom Johnson joins us.
All right, here's what I got about the bananas. I was wondering, like, Jason Isringhausen, old school guy, pitched a couple pitches with the bananas, and then I saw an interview he did. I think it was KMOV, and it looked like he was like embarrassed that he did it, like he did it for his kids.
I am so confused right now.
I am too. Then Lance Lynn had done it. Wayno's done it. Anyway, so we talked about it on Serving It Up podcast I do with the great Matt Holliday, great Lance Lynn, the great Kyle Gibson, who just got his kids a dog, Alaskan Malamute. They were all on vacation except for Kyle, who was ready to go drive 2 hours to pick up the dog for his kids. Anyway, all these guys, veterans, old school guys, all enjoyed the whole banana shtick, which took me by surprise a little. Because some guys are like, it's a bastardization of the game we love. These guys are like, anything that promotes baseball is good. And they
look how many people were
enjoyed
there.
it.
Look how many kids were watching that.
And it's
It's great.
And the kids, like you point out, that's the future, right? You want
No
to
doubt.
reach those kids. So they were pretty much on board with it.
I don't know if there's an equivalent to hockey with anything. Like, do they have anything that kind of is a little bit different but brings a lot of fans in? I don't know. Maybe they should think of it.
Yeah,
I don't know. There's a lot of eyes on that. They're blowing up, except for this guy face planted on CNN. Do you see them? It's hilarious. Oh man.
I don't see why people have an issue with it. Like the people who are like the sanctity of the game, people like, this is baseball. This is how baseball is played.
Who's saying that though?
I don't know how you make it through the day without just burying your head in the sand and calling it quits.
Well, you see that on like Twitter and
I
stuff.
don't get how those people make it through the day.
I saw it I think I posted a picture that my kid had sent because he was at the Bananas, loved it.
Honestly, the WNBA should be in St. Louis.
Right. They should merge. The Bananas and
You hear
the
that, Kate?
WNBA should merge and put that together.
Yeah. I don't want to talk sports with women.
Thank you for the drops. Who was that?
Cole. That was Cole.
I do miss him.
Yeah, I do too.
And
he's a good dude.
But anyway, I think I tweeted out a picture of Lance on the Jumbotron that my kid had sent me. And I think there was some negative feedback, and I heard some of that. I don't think it's a lot of people. I think most people.
No.
embrace- obviously,
All
it's
my
a
buddies
wild
went.
success.
And all the kids loved it. Kate's brother, their kids, my
I
buddy.
played high school basketball.
That's when you know you got right there.
But Cam,
he was sitting in this here chair.
But Cam, on YouTube, I did this.
You know.
I put a thing like this. They're ruining the game. And I put a picture like that.
You should put a picture like, hey.
Why do you hate YouTube so much, Jim?
I don't hate it. I'm on it. I'm trying to maybe because my show isn't as popular as I think it should be, and I'm projecting my disappointment on others, but it's in myself.
Do you think you should look inward?
Well, I just said I'm projecting my disappointment outward where it should be on me. So that's the same thing. But I just think it's funny what I see on my YouTube feed. Like
no, they'll suck you in.
It's
It's
like
not
anything
about.
else,
It's not about
clickbait.
being like you do that. Like Andy and I do that the whole time, but we don't say, hey, everybody wants Berube fired. Like we're not going to do that.
I have no. You guys just kind of play by the rules. I mean, I'm not saying it's against the rules. You guys keep it kind of standard. So do I. But Rock, the reason why I make that joke is because I tested it myself. Look on my feed, right? Where I used to do Cat's Corner. And I would have good Cardinal guests, and they would get thousands, right? And then some didn't. And I wondered, what if I just did emergency news conference with a picture of me like this? And it got just as many views.
It's a game.
And it was crap.
But then they're going to realize it's crap when you do that, and they're going to know it's clickbait. You know what I mean?
And then I don't know what the algorithm.
People are smart,
maybe,
when it comes to that.
But the algorithm, I don't know. But then we started up doing the Serving It Up show, and we were getting nothing. Hundreds. Now it's growing now. I just don't understand the algorithm. Maybe that's why I'm frustrated by YouTube. Like, Charlie knows the game. That is the smartest social media guy out.
Well, he had to change his ways, like it's tough to even, he got into NASCAR from probably knowing nothing. I don't remember him ever bringing up NASCAR. I knew he knew Kenny Wallace, and all of a sudden you're like 100 miles an hour, figure this out, understand the people, understand the drivers, what they do, the cars. I mean, that's a lot.
And then he said he would never watch anything political. Then he's doing a political podcast the next day.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. But he did get.
I think Ron DeSantis is a really good governor.
Yeah.
I like him.
I'd like. He messed up a couple times. He's had some weird.
Who does?
I know.
I wouldn't mind retiring in Florida.
No doubt. Where were they at? Where was Lance at? He was down in Rosemary Beach. That's where it's at. He said he's in Rosemary Beach, and my eyes lit up like that. I go, that's where it's at. Because the farther down you go, east, a little cheaper, but Rosemary Beach is where
that's nice.
Lovelyville.
When you're sitting on
and the water is so beautiful. The sand, there's beautiful houses right there on the sand. It's awesome.
And holidays in Montana.
Yeah.
Now, how much did you watch?
So about the 28 mark.
All right.
Then I went to the gas station and.
Thank you for the view. Thank you for the view.
No problem. And a like.
And
oh my God.
Rock, you put a like on my podcast?
I didn't watch it. No. He's got so much going on.
I eat food out of Cam's mystery satchel.
That might not be good, Matty. For a while there, my cat was getting into my sausage links in here and eating half of them, and they'd go bad. And I almost got sick a couple of times. Don't go through that bag. Let's see here. Yeah, we still haven't even talked about the Hawkster. Man, oh man. God, a lot of.
Why don't we save that? Because
we got a minute left.
That'd be discourteous.
Yeah, it would. How about Drinky Poo? Nice little extension through 2029.
I mean,
he's making money.
They extend him literally almost every year at this point. It's kind of insane. This is the third time he's gotten the 1 year extension on his deal.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like him now.
I think the bigger thing is not the 1 year. I think in this case, the bigger thing is the expansion money for his assistant pool, strength and conditioning coaches, and other football personnel. And so he gets more money now for his assistants and his staff. I think that's the bigger
nice.
Deal.
And it's monopoly money for the school. Please. It really is.
It's hard to leave that as a coach. They love him down there. He's energetic. He's a hero. I mean, not a hero, but he kind of is around campus. And then move to the NFL where it might be different. I don't know, man.
I do think the NIL and the transfer portal have made life tougher for coaches. Like, you better get a handle on that, or it's going to lead to your demise. Although, I don't know what Trump is doing, but he did sign an executive order.
We'll get into that.
We'll clean up.
We'll get into that. We're getting into Hawks, we're going to get into some Trump. We're going to get into a lot of things. We'll be back. This is Hot Take Central 2.0.
Let's talk about your health insurance. There are a lot of reasons why people need affordable health insurance. But here's the bottom line. You know you need affordable health insurance. For you, a spouse, a family member, whatever. I'm going to give you a free hotline to call to find affordable health insurance that can cover all your health insurance needs in case you get sick or have an emergency. Plus, cover vision, dental, and more. And there are no long-term commitments. You can keep your plan as long as it's affordable. And for the price of a cup of coffee. We're not talking about one of those fancy coffees. For the price of a regular cup of coffee a day, you can have quality, affordable health insurance. Call the health insurance hotline for a free quote.
800-373-8414. 800-373-8414. 800-373-8414. That's 800-373-8414. All aboard!
There's a new way to travel, and it's one of the oldest forms of transportation. Travel by train. Yes, consider traveling around the United States on Amtrak. Traveling by train is a lot less of a headache than taking a plane, and you'd be surprised how many places you can go on an Amtrak, and there's no passports or IDs needed. Find out how to get where you're going as soon as tomorrow by train. Call the Amtrak Travel Hotline right now. We'll book your trip and email your tickets within minutes. Skip the drive to the airport and skip the lines. Call right now to book your Amtrak reservations. We service most of the United States.
All aboard!
Do something new. Travel by Amtrak today.
800-428-9517. 800-428-9517. 800-428-9517. That's 800-428-9517.
Broadcasting live from the J. Randolph Jr. Studios in Kirkwood.
It's stronger than grandmother's breath.
KLIS 590 AM, Wood River, St. Louis.
One person's dead in a shooting at a University of New Mexico student housing complex in Albuquerque. There's a shelter-in-place order right now for students. The university said the suspect remains at large, may still be on campus. One other person was shot, suffered non-life-threatening injuries. The school has closed the campus. The head of the Federal Aviation Administration says the current state of the U.S. air traffic control system is unacceptable. Administrator Brian Bedford said it's aging and understaffed, and he promised to modernize it. President Trump signed an executive order aimed at removing homeless people from the streets. That order, signed Thursday, asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to reverse judicial precedents which limit state and local governments' ability to have individuals on the streets committed if they pose a risk to themselves or others. The order calls for federal funding to move homeless people who are causing public disorder and suffering from serious mental illness or addiction to treatment centers, assisted outpatient treatment, or other facilities. The Supreme Court halted an appeals ruling which limits the enforcement of the Voting Rights Act.
The case stems from a lawsuit brought by two Native American tribes who argue that North Dakota's state legislative map denied them an equal opportunity to elect their candidates of choice. Justices have lifted an appeals panel ruling that found the tribes and other private parties have no legal right to enforce Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. I'm Brian Shook.
New Yorkers are reacting to the death of WWE wrestling legend Hulk Hogan. Hogan won his first title at Madison Square Garden in 1985, and he was set to open a bar near the venue this fall.
When I was younger, I certainly watched WWF, and he was that guy.
From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
Business owners, are you paying high phone bills for old school systems and lousy service? StrongTel cuts your phone bills in half and turns every phone you own into a feature-rich business system. Sean Roddy, CEO of Hennings Brothers Drilling, had this to say: "We've been a StrongTel customer for over 10 years. It's great. It even includes an intercom with video to our equipment yard. I can watch live from anywhere with my smartphone. I'd recommend StrongTel to anyone. Never miss a customer call again with your StrongTel business system. StrongTel is a proud iTex partner and always welcomes your iTex dollars. You'll get award-winning StrongTel service, a business-class phone system, and cut your phone bill in half. So visit strongtel.com right now. That's StrongTel, StrongTel.com. Strong.
News reports on the Lou Information Station are presented by Brown and Crouppen. 222-2222. 222-2222.
Who needs a vacation? Are you ready for an unforgettable getaway? Start packing your bags because Branson, Missouri, the vacation and entertainment capital of the U.S., is calling your name. For just $99 per person, here's what you get: a full 3-day, 2-night stay in a luxury resort hotel, a delicious full breakfast buffet every morning you're here, and when you call right now, free show tickets worth up to $100. That's right, free show tickets to an award-winning show on us. You don't have to leave the country for an amazing vacation. You can drive or fly to Branson and have an incredible time. Whether you bring in the whole family or just planning a romantic escape, this trip is built for you. We guarantee you'll love Branson. This is not a timeshare. It's just an unbeatable vacation deal for only $99 per person. You book now, you can use your tickets anytime this year. You don't even need to know your travel dates to lock in the special price. Hurry, because this offer won't last long. Call our Branson vacation experts today.
800-497-7198. 800-497-7198. 800-497-7198. That's 800-497-7198.
Hey, listen to me. I'm one of the credit cards in your wallet. I'm about to explode and pop like a balloon. You're using me and my brothers way too much. Your credit cards aren't the only ones annoyed. It's your paycheck that doesn't have enough to pay everything. Save your credit cards, your paycheck, and yourself a lot of PAIN. Pain. Call the debt helpline now, not tomorrow, right now. Our experts will show you how you can cut your interest rates and your payments on your credit cards in half. Credit card companies have special assistance programs designed to help you. Make this 100% free call right now and learn how you could get out of credit card debt. Here's the number.
800-406-6569. 800-406-6569. 800-406-6569. That's 800-406-6569. Paid for by Zero Debt.
The Lou Information Station presents Hot Take Central 2.0 with Cam Jensen and Jimmy the Cat Hayes.
Yeah, baby, 9:05 on a Friday. Hot Take Central 2.0. Cam Jansen, Jim the Cat Hayes, Matthew Rocchio doing our thing. This is the Lou Information Station, live and on demand at louinfo.com. You just got to go to Lou Info on YouTube and click the button, like and subscribe. We're right here waving to you. Plus, you could chime in too at 314-590-3770.
For 2 years, I pretended to watch most of the games when I really didn't watch them.
He didn't.
This is the worst segment since the show's inception.
There's plenty of those.
I miss Charlie.
I do too.
Then he did a YouTube about the Cardinals.
Yeah, he did the other day. Yeah, I saw it. He did the other day.
Listen, we talked about Hulk Hogan passing away. Well, how old was he? He looked great.
71.
71. He still looked kind of jacked.
I think he shrunk about 7 to 8 inches.
Yeah, but I mean,
his
for
back,
a 71-year-old, though.
Oh, man, he was in such pain.
Yeah, he put his body through the ringer.
Yeah.
And who knows what abuses there were? Like, you hear stories about those guys traveling and being hurt and taking painkillers or maybe
everything. Steroids and painkillers mixed.
And this guy, and I'm not a wrestling guy, right? So I don't care about, I don't get how adults love professional wrestling. I'm not judging. It's not my thing. This guy, Hulk Hogan, not only cheated on his wife, said some things on video that were pure racist.
I didn't realize how many people don't like him.
A lot of people don't.
A lot of people.
That. And I think he did turn his life around. And so
found Jesus.
If you're a celebrity, and to me, that's not white out. To me, that doesn't wash away all the bad. But when someone passes, I tend to dwell more on the positive. Right? If that doesn't define who you are, like you just passed away, give him his respect. And if you look at his body of work for the wrestling community, because like he was a superstar.
Everybody
that went beyond that.
In the 80s, in the early 90s, which, Rock, you missed out on. Like I had everything Hulk Hogan.
Did you really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Those wrestling buddies that you'd like throw around, and I'd always like try to flex like he did. Oh, big time. He was everywhere. Him and Andre the Giant, they had 33 million people watching that thing. WrestleMania.
Amazing.
33 million people. You can't even see.
Wrestling.
You can't even see from up there and look down because they didn't have the TVs weren't great at the time, but he was fantastic. He was awesome in Rocky 3. Like in Rocky 3, when you first see him, you're like, whoa, like what the hell is this thing? This monster. No one's ever seen anything like it. Because I think he was one of the first guys to look really jacked, that big. But
that was the first time I knew Hulk Hogan when I saw Rocky. And look, Sylvester Stallone's not a tall guy.
No.
But you could see
yes,
that Hulk Hogan was a genuine monster.
Yes.
And I think I asked my wife, who, also, followed, celebrities and stuff like that. I said, was that his coming out party? And she said at the time she thought that he was already making it. I wasn't aware of it.
It wasn't because they were in these little sectors all throughout the United States, and he was in one of them, right? And all the owners own these different areas around the United States, and you're not allowed to creep past that. And I think he got sued by the company because they didn't want him to do that. And he's like, no, I'm going to go ahead and be on Rocky and show my physique off. And I think that's when he moved to WWF. But he did go through some weird stuff. Didn't he have a reality show too? Hang with the Hogans?
Probably. I don't.
You don't remember that? Yeah. He had
it sounds familiar.
Just like Ozzy. It's like the same thing. It's really weird.
He was, I think, maybe I'm wrong about this too, but I think a Hulk Hogan is one of the first guys who managed his career as an athlete, which he was, in terms of marketing, merchandising. Now, I don't know if it was all him. Maybe it was WWF that got him on that path. But those guys extracted every dollar of their fame that they could.
Hulkamania.
And you didn't know at the lunch boxes and all that.
Oh, God, it was everywhere.
Right, and you didn't see a lot of that at the time when they first started doing it.
No, when Vince took over, they bought up every area and they took everything over. Then they went to cable TV, so everybody could see it in the different sectors. So, man, it blew up. But then, like, the couple weird things though, like the Bubba Love Sponge, like, wasn't that weird?
His racist rants. His kids were weird. Yeah,
Brooke was doing things, and then the mom was doing other things, and then the son was getting straight D-dubs all the time. I mean, damn.
Didn't his son kill somebody?
Something like, yeah.
So, not a perfect human being. Who among us is? And look, if you don't like him, I understand. But when someone passes,
Did you ever get into wrestling, Rock?
Yeah, in a very short 7-year window in the
Attitude Era,
in the late '90s, early 2000s.
7 years, pretty good.
Good run.
Probably about
it's a good run.
5 to 12. Probably about 5 to 12.
Okay.
The age groups. It was ending at the 12, but I mean, it was. I remember like my brother's older friends or things like that, like bringing over like videotapes like Royal Rumbles and things like that in the mid to late 90s. But I mean, very Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock kind of power era.
The Attitude Era was so hardcore.
I wasn't a big enough fan to
they were
know
having sex
any
in
of
the
that
ring
stuff.
on one. It got so crazy. Oh yeah.
Kane, Mick Foley, and Mr. Sacco was a big thing as well.
Yeah, I didn't like him. I didn't like his shtick.
I'm trying to think. I was a big fan of Rob Van Dam. I like the 5-star.
Cool.
I like the 5-star frog splash. That's the one move I can actually
Never
remember.
heard of it.
Undertaker, Triple H. That was my era. For some reason I really didn't like Kurt Angle and the ankle twist. I liked Kurt Angle because of the America stuff, but I hate the ankle twist was such a dirty move. I hated it.
He was supposed to be a goofball. They wanted him to act stupid and do stupid, corny things, and then go out there and wrestle like an unbelievable athlete.
He'd have the unitard. He'd have the American unitard.
What do you mean?
But he'd do the ankle twist, and I always thought it was such a dirty move. I really hated Kurt Angle because of that.
But God, you got to appreciate him.
That's the entirety of my wrestling.
You know who I used to like? The Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah, baby.
But he didn't really look. Some of these guys don't really look like they would, be able to.
They're bigger than you think.
Or sometimes they're not. But his move was the shake, rattle, and roll. And he'd come in with like the Elvis. It's hilarious. And I couldn't understand how people love that stuff.
I agree. I just got into it afterward. Besides when I was really young with Hulkamania.
Chris Jericho was a big thing when I was a kid, come to think of it.
Then I started to get into UFC. I remember getting those old tapes. My dad would give me these old tapes as the 90s, Hoist Gracie and Ken Shamrock. And I'm like, well, this is different. This is cool.
Well, that's real. The other is entertainment.
No doubt. So once I got a little bit older and I realized that when you're young and you see how gigantic they are, you're like, oh my God. But once you get a little bit older, you're just like, I don't care about that anymore. I want to see them really punch each other.
I was talking to Joe Roderick about this yesterday, and kind of
he's a big wrestling guy.
Exactly, because I was trying to get some context, and the way we're talking, it made me wonder about if the early eras of wrestling and what made pro wrestling big was something that the UFC did on purpose. Because one of the things they did with Hulk Hogan, why he was such a big deal early, is that Hulk never fought somebody that made Hulk look like he was 6'6". Hulk would always fight at the biggest people they could possibly find, and so that Hulk would always look tiny, and then he'd beat them.
Yep.
And I think one of the I wonder if the UFC did it on purpose, that like guys like Hoist Gracie are fighting guys 150 pounds more than him, because early in the UFC there wasn't weight classes. It was just two fighters, two different styles go at it. And Gracie would fight guys 340 pounds, and he'd ragdoll them.
There's no connection.
I just wonder
nothing
if there's
to do with that. It's more like
I'm not saying
the
there's
toughest
connection.
guys.
I'm just saying of like the same mindset of how do we get people to watch this? We make the toughest guy look like he's going to lose to this huge guy.
They thought he was going to get killed, and so he kept winning and winning and winning.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu,
but
baby.
It wasn't exciting for them. Like when the two big boys are throwing bombs like Tank Abbott, and they're knocking guys out, and their teeth are flying. Hoist is going to take a beating, and he's going to get you, and he's going to get you.
And he's wearing a bathrobe.
Which is...
Hey now,
they just couldn't.
Have a little respect.
You should see the rules back then. You couldn't bite or eye gouge, and everything else.
Fish hook either.
Or fish hook. Just little
couldn't
things.
eye gouge either, but fish hook was another one.
I bashed him in the back of the head like blop.
Yeah,
it's psycho.
I all the respect in the world, but I used to see the clips, and I was like, is he wearing slippers too with that bathrobe?
Yeah, that's his.
Now,
that's his gi.
I totally respect that.
You don't disrespect to the gi.
You don't.
And then he went out and tied these guys up so bad, like a boa constrictor, and they made him look stupid. It was so good for maybe kids that were not big.
Huge.
They're like, wait a minute, I could learn jiu-jitsu and beat that guy up. Cool.
So I'm not saying there's anything connected necessarily, but I'm saying the why Vince McMahon thought that would work and get people watching is this guy who's huge looks small, and then he wins. And the same kind of mindset that of why entertainment works. I think the UFC tapped into that early of like, this guy is going to lose. And then, oh, never mind. Okay. He just tied him up like a pretzel. We're good.
Yeah. But I don't remember too many. Like
a lot of those.
The smaller guys had some, either they're kickboxers or they're something. The big guys were just big, like price security guys that just lifted weights, boxed here and there, beat up in the backyard kind of guy, and they'd get killed.
You know why the UFC, I think, is, or to me anyway, so amazing, is that every guy you see, they might be like a former Olympic wrestler.
Yeah.
But they also have belts in jiu-jitsu. These guys, now it's different. They do everything. Like you will get worked unless you have a background across the spectrum, which is amazing to me.
Look at
every guy has Brazilian jiu-jitsu somewhere in his tool.
You have to, or you're going to get weeded out quick. Even Michael Chandler, who was a wrestler, obviously, like he could head kick you. He's knocked guys out with like head kicks. You just got to learn all that. It's really difficult. It takes a lot of time and money.
I'm going to throw a name at
money.
You. My kid's into UFC, so I've sprung for a couple of pay-per-views. Who was a guy that was a champion that was a pure striker? And I don't know if he's fought in once since he was on a title fight and got used by a guy.
Like a heavyweight? Was he a heavyweight? I mean,
he got the crazy hair. Kind of looked like Kid Rock a little bit.
Really?
And an outside striker. God, if my kid were up and we're listening.
Does he have like rainbow colored hair?
Yeah. What was his name?
Yeah, that's
just say his name.
What's that kid's name? God Almighty,
anyway,
help me out.
Sean O'Malley.
Sean O'Malley.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
He's cool.
And he was a pure striker.
Yeah. He'll leg kick you so hard.
Right. And then I saw a fight where someone stayed the proper distance, saw an opening, took him down, and O'Malley did nothing. Couldn't do anything because he didn't have the full toolbox. And then supposedly, I don't know if he's fighting, like his game, if you weren't knocked out by him, you knew how to play that game. He had no defense.
That's why they don't match up against sometimes those wrestlers. They want O'Malley to fight another guy with the same skill set, so they just head kick each other and they're not in the ground because
wasn't that
being on the ground's boring and Dana wants exciting fights. That's why he tips you out at the end.
But different styles make better matchups, I think.
Wasn't that one of the complaints about it? Was it Askren that he wasn't enough of he didn't have enough of a boxing part of his bag to be able to stay up on the up on his feet and fight it out?
Yes, but what he'd do is he'd make it boring, and he would duck, and then finally find a way get in on you, and now he's going to slowly get on you, slowly do this like a boa constrictor, and it's not fun to watch. But I appreciate it.
I think the technical part is
fascinating. Then he got knocked out so bad, and now he went home. Actually, he's out of the hospital. He looked terrible. Jake Paul, I'm gonna give you a little shout out. Jake Paul took care of all his expenses, all this stuff. I guess he wasn't taken care of from the UFC. I don't know. When you're under the UFC umbrella, your insurance is great, but I don't think he was at the time. I think he quit. He did a couple fights and stuff like that, got his ass kicked. So he probably, who knows, man, if he's struggling. He didn't make that much money.
First off, I like the technical part of it because when someone's, you like UFC? I do. It's exciting.
Awesome.
Well, people think, well, it's just the biggest thug wins. Whoever the baddest. No.
Whoever says that has no idea.
Right. That's why
idea.
That's why I appreciate the technical side of a guy who can take you down and slowly
Any
work
way
you in position.
he wants to.
And you're done. Right?
Any way he wants to.
But my kid just pointed out, Jake Paul is now ranked by one of the governing bodies in boxing.
Really?
14th.
Man,
And
I
I'm
got to
looking
give
at
him
the-
credit, man. I kind of like
I
him.
don't.
I like him.
No, I don't dislike
I hate
him,
him,
but
I
I'm
like
not
him
giving
now.
him credit as a boxer until
He
he
needs
fights
to fight somebody.
a guy who isn't 40 years
Who
old.
did he just fight, though? Was he the 40?
Chavez Jr.
How old is he?
39. And
Okay, his record's
career
probably-
had-
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. And
Well, he's getting.
it's
I
a
didn't even
step
hear
up.
about that.
Yeah, I didn't either because no one really. It's weird. If he fought another YouTuber, probably would have gotten more attention.
I tell you what, if Conor McGregor fights him for some stupid, he might get his ass. He will get his ass kicked.
First off,
I think.
First off, if you're looking for a true outcome, you can't have the guy who's promoting the fight and putting up the money for the purse being one of the contestants, right? Like when Floyd Mayweather fought Jake Paul's brother, people said it was fake. It looked weird.
He's corny to me.
The whole thing looked weird. So
I'm not into those fights. I just appreciate Jake Paul, though. I'm starting to. I used to I thought he was very annoying. Now I can appreciate what he's done. He's done some stupid. He looked foolish on Pierce Morgan, but Morgan was all over him, bashing him, and rightfully so. And he should have just ate it.
For what?
Being a fake boxer. You're not boxing anybody. Yeah, and Pierce is right on that. It was actually interesting. Then he got pissed and left. Looked stupid, but he took.
I respect the empire that he's built, and I respect that he sure looks better as a fighter than he did when he first started. I just want to see him fight a real fighter.
I got an idea.
Yeah.
Next July 4th, me, you, T, go down to White House, baby, and watch the White House UFC.
I would like to see that.
No doubt about it.
Maybe we can
Is
get
it
an
corny?
invite.
Fine. I don't care.
We can tap into some
Wouldn't that,
connections.
you know how much money that'd be if we.
But I will say this. I think
We
it's
couldn't do it.
ridiculous to have UFC at the White House.
So ridiculous. But I love it.
This will transition to the other thing. And Rock, I'm going to ask your help on this because I'm sort of in the Cardinal bubble. I'm not on, reading as much as I normally do. But what did Trump do with an executive order that's going to clean up
the NIL?
That's I haven't read it yet.
I saw a news report on
So
it
did I.
that he is trying to make sure that NIL deals are actually market value because he believes it's destroying college sports. Apparently, this action came after a meeting with Nick Saban. It's like, come on.
President Trump has taken aim at college sports in a new executive order signed to empower federal agencies, including the U.S. Department of Education. Which still
is
exist?
gone, yeah.
Then who are we empowering? Which disperses funds to public universities to enforce new provisions on athletic scholarships and pay-for-play licensing deals for athletes. The order dictates the nation's largest athletics departments to maintain certain numbers of scholarships for women's and Olympic sports. It seeks to rein in the lucrative name, image, and likeness deals that have dramatically transformed athletic compensation in recent years. Let me see if I can find the actual nitty-gritty of it here.
While you do that, let me throw out some conjecture because to me, I think it's fair to look at it and say, wait a minute, is this actually giving them the right to make some money off their own image or what they're bringing to a program, or is this basically turning college sports into professional sports? I think it's a fair question to ask, but I think you should have hearings on it, and I think you should try to come to some sort of consensus between universities, maybe some student groups, and see what's best. I think student athletes should get paid. I do think it's a bit out of control. And part of it is you could sign an NIL deal and then transfer, go in the portal, and you're still getting your money.
Yeah.
Like you got to change that.
That's
setup.
ridiculous.
Now, I'm assuming the NIL deals that they sign are different now, but I think it's fair to look at all that.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it, really.
Among the guardrails the order seeks to impose are requirements the highest earning college athletic departments provide more scholarship opportunities in non-revenue sports than they did in the 2024-25 school year. The provision would apply to around 30 of the nation's largest athletic departments, according to data from 2024. In a hint of how its provisions might be enforced, the order directs the Department of Education, which the Trump administration is still in the process of dismantling, to use the disbursement of federal funds, Title IX enforcement, and interstate commerce laws to influence these schools. Most of the nation's largest athletic departments belong to public universities, such as Ohio State and the University of Texas.
So let's be honest. As it stands now, the revenue-producing sports, football, basketball, some places, baseball's a popular sport, but for the most part, the revenue producers fund the athletic department so that they can have other teams. That's been the system for a while. So this seems like that's along those lines.
This is and talking about the pay-for-play deals for the NIL rights are a target of the administration as well. Athletes, especially football and basketball players, now earn thousands or even millions of dollars per year in NIL deals, some of which connected to a marketing campaign, but others are effectively compensation for playing. NIL deals that are quote-unquote pay-for-play are, quote, improper and should not be permitted by universities, the Trump order says, specifically carving out deals that carry a quote-unquote fair market value for brand endorsement or other legitimate purposes. Who determines what the fair market value is? To do. Yeah, I was going to say, who determines what the fair market value is?
But I do think there's something that strikes me as correct in that. If you have an NIL department or whatever you call in your athletic department that will find deals from businesses that want to promote a product for the athletes, that seems fair. If it is actually just the school paying the athletes, I don't know how you get around that, but if that's the case, that strikes me as wrong because that means that the school is sort of hiring professional athletes to pay. Now, it's really just syntax. It's really just how you define things, but I do think it seems better if it's really a business sponsoring an athlete.
I get it.
And something they get in return is they get to have this athlete in commercials or posters
all over
or
your
a marketing.
Yep. This might be the most crucial part here. The 5 Power Conference in college sports were quick to applaud the executive effort in a joint statement from the Southeastern, Atlantic Coast, Big 10, Big 12, and Pac-12 conferences. It's funny that they still include the Pac-12 like it's a power conference. That's a good joke. They said, we hope Congress sends federal legislation to President Trump's desk as soon as possible. Why do the power conferences like this? I think it might be because of this little point at the end of this article.
What do you got?
The National Labor Relations Board is being asked to issue rules and guidance with respect to clarifying the status of collegiate athletes to ensure that they continue to not be legally considered employees for the purpose of labor law. That, ladies and gentlemen, is why the conferences love this little thing from Trump, because if anything stops them from legally having to deal with any kind of unionization effort, collective bargaining, the power conferences are all about that action, boss.
Yeah, I get that. I think it would be wrong for these athletes to be employees of the school. And does that seem like that's maybe over the line?
No, they should be employees.
They're students.
So you don't agree with that?
Students
Rock?
can be employees of the university. It happens all the time with students. Happens all the time. I was an employee of the university when I was a student.
I guess I was too.
Yeah.
I guess I was.
There it is.
Why
I didn't have a
there
union.
it is, baby.
I guess I was too.
It's like it's this thing is like they're like we have to be treated differently. Why?
Okay, so does that mean that someone on the fencing team, because they're an employee, should get what the football players do? Because now, if you're all employees, there's laws to protect people from. So now the fencing team has to make what the star quarterback's making.
No, it's you can pay your employees different rates depending on what they bring into the company.
But you're gonna, I don't know.
You can.
It seems to me like you're gonna face.
I got
legal. You're gonna face legal recourse.
I got paid less working for the university doing the work study than the manager who was a graduate student. He got paid more per hour than I did.
Different job.
Well, he was a manager. It's a different.
So a quarterback's a manager, and the star of your fencing team.
It's a different job. A fencer is a different job than a quarterback.
To me, that seems like that's
you
going to be.
You can't just say all athletes are the same, are doing the same job.
Seems like they are. I mean, just at face value, an athlete's an athlete.
It's all in one bubble.
Have a feeling.
You look at it all in one bubble. You're an athlete.
I don't really care. I'm just trying to.
It's interesting.
I'm trying to understand why this would be a bad thing. If you point out rightfully so, when I was in college working at a radio station, getting a check for working, I was an employee. But if you're an athlete and the definition is you're an athlete at the school, why? Oh, because you're going to get sued by the person on the fencing team or the water polo team How come they're not making $1 million a year from the school like the quarterback
or the women's
whatever?
team?
Yeah,
because their team doesn't bring in the money. If your team doesn't bring in the money,
but
then
is that a legal reason?
I think it's. I think.
I don't think it is.
If you're
I
treating
think-
this like every other, free market, I think it is.
I tell you, anytime I think of the NIL, though, man, I look back on the guys that just missed out. Maybe some of those players that were so loud in college, football players, basketball players, whatever the case is, just loud, but they didn't have a big career and made a lot of money. They're probably still looking back like, man, did we miss out?
Oh, trust me, they are.
Man, did we miss out? We couldn't even do anything.
I live in a house with a college athlete.
Holy
I live in
cow.
a house with a college athlete who was 1 year or 2 years, I think, outside of the window where they, how they just paid all the college athletes in a certain window of the last 10 years. You're getting a small check if you played collegiate athletics because they won that case. She's 2 years outside of the window to even get money from that. So it's like a double whammy if you're in a certain window where you didn't get the money, you're not getting the money from the court case, and obviously you're not benefiting from it in any way, shape, or
Did
form.
you get money from boosters? Because I got buddies of mine that were
no.
One guy was a Division II Division II.
Okay,
back then.
wow, that's
and
insane.
he would get handshakes from boosters at a luncheon with
No.
$100.
Yeah.
And that was a different game. But
Creighton Golf had that stuff locked down.
what do you mean?
She didn't get any money from boosters.
They had it locked down.
They had it locked down. That wasn't
How
happening.
dare you?
All the
I want you to struggle.
All the sketchy stuff's happening on the other side of Nebraska.
Man, that is so weird. Some of those guys are just looking back. Maybe they got hurt right after college, didn't have a career. They're like, I could have made that game-changing money.
How about this? Like a guy like Ricky Horton, who's doing well as a broadcaster now. You look at his career ERA, 3.6 or something. Oh, you're a $4 million a year pitcher today.
Yeah.
Times have changed.
But he still made money. He still played.
Yeah, he did great.
So it's,
but I'm just saying that there's guys who were stars back in the day who had to, in the off season, go work at the local furniture store.
When did that?
What
year did that stop?
I just remember
what year you think?
I just remember the money starting Catfish Hunter, players like that getting big. I remember, I can't remember the first $1 million a year athlete, and it was huge news.
Yes.
And then of course the sour people are like, how could you get $1 million a year for playing a sport?
What year though?
It's all changed.
70?
70?
Yeah. Get an extra job.
I mean, that was 50s.
Yeah.
And I remember too, reading about Babe Ruth. You also have to remember the dollar had a smaller value back then than Babe Ruth made more than the president of the United States.
Yeah.
And someone asked him about it, and he said, well, I had a better year. So obviously the money he was making was pretty big money. But now
it's $30,000 contract or something like that.
What is the president of the United States? I think it was close to six figures, but he's Babe Ruth.
Really?
I think.
450 grand.
I mean, now players you're done with baseball. You're sitting on $60 million.
Oh yeah. Or you grind it and don't make anything until you're 27 years old and you give up and you have to start over again. That's tough.
Now,
you don't think of those guys.
MLB, the players union, has made sure there's pensions and stuff in place, and it's paid out based on how many years of service. But if you get an MLB pension, you're making $200,000-300,000 a year just off that, even if you didn't get the full 10 years.
Yeah.
Even if you get 3-4 years, you're getting $180,000 a year once you reach a certain age. You're getting a partial pension. It's $180,000. That'll take some of the pressure off.
Yeah, but you have to play games.
You have to make it.
You have to make it
in Major League Baseball
and play years. I'm talking about the guy. I mean,
you're talking about the guy who never made it.
Never made it, and they think that they can, and they're really not making any money because they're bouncing. I mean, what are they making in AA? What do you think they're making there? Not the guys that signed their first round picks that are kind of bouncing around.
About the guys with a signing bonus.
Yeah, no. Just a guy that's grinding.
I don't know, but
not much.
Not much. Not a lot.
Man, because I saw this in hockey too, and they 27. They're like, "What do I do?"
Okay, but and again, anyone who makes it to Major League Baseball did something that's 1 in a million, 1 in 10 million, 1 in 20 million.
Yeah.
But what about the comedian that's on the road trying to make it, never made it? You're not crying for him, are you? He's chasing his dream.
I mean, yeah, and the rock stars. I've met a bunch of them that I met that grinding.
You're in a van traveling the country and
taking showers next to a trucker,
and you never made it. No one's crying for you.
No, they are. Man,
what about
that's
poor
a
Rock?
grind.
He's been grinding in this business, and
Rock's everywhere, baby. Rock, did you get a good night's sleep last night?
Nah, not really.
Like how many hours do you think?
I don't know. I can check my little.
Oh, you see, that's
thing.
what I kind of want. I just want to know when I'm sleeping.
What's
it say? I'm curious, actually.
How did I sleep?
What's a bad night's sleep for you?
Well, I usually don't. According to this, I usually get like less than. I usually don't even get 6, which is bad. It's updating right now.
So it's about 6 hours. Okay, that's not too bad.
I need to get more than 6.
But you got to look at the REM sleep too on that. Yeah. Is that when you're really out? I guess.
So I didn't sleep bad last night. I actually slept a lot better than I thought I did. I felt I did. I slept 7-12 last night. That's really good for me. That's really good for me. My God,
you should get one of those, Jimmy.
I
don't want to know.
2 hours and 18 minutes of REM,
and go like this. Hey, I'm tired.
The world don't care. Yeah. The world doesn't care that you're tired.
Yeah, no, it does not. It does not.
No,
yes, the women's college basketball players should make the same as the men's. It's the same work that deserves the same pay. Think about it.
Yeah, Rachel actually chimed in on the YouTube chat. College athletes generally have
handle that.
College athletes generally have all the same study hours, workouts, etc. They should all get the same base pay. They're all representing the school at the same base level.
Ooh. So the fencer should make what?
Ooh.
So the fencer
base pay. But so how do you define base pay versus like
I don't know.
Pay?
I'm just saying
that's a fair point.
It's opening a can of worms. You were quick to say, well, it doesn't produce the same revenue. If you're a college employee, that was a great point. Basketball to basketball.
Yeah.
Let's say you're at a school where the men's program rakes in billions and the women's program doesn't, but they get the same money.
I mean,
it's the same argument that the WNBA players should make with the NBA players.
At a radio station, producers do the same job but get paid differently based on how successful the show is. Is that wrong?
Do you understand that these are employees of universities and colleges, that there are probably a lot of different rules that apply that don't apply to radio stations?
That's why we don't have a producer.
I'm just talking about. I
guarantee you.
I'm just talking. That's
They're talking about state funding, federal funding that comes with a whole bunch of regulations that we don't even know.
It was different right off the rip because they said that part of the big hurdle here is that the biggest organizations are the biggest universities. They're talking about 2 of them in Ohio State and Texas are public universities versus private. And it's obviously that's going to be a whole thing. You're right about that.
That's why
I think that's separate from them being the discussion about them being employees.
No, it's the same.
Them being able to unionize.
You have rules
them
for
being
employees.
Exactly. And so it would help the players then if they're able to unionize in labor.
And then someone will on the fencing team will say, I'm an employee too, exactly the same requirements.
And then we have to have that
Then you have a giant litigation. I'm just saying it opens a can of worms. I don't know
let's
the
open
answer.
the can then.
Open it up, baby. Open it up. Part of the enforcement of this NIL came from complaints and interviews with Nick Saban, who is also the reason why NIL and the transfer portal was for the NCAA.
Yeah, I pointed out that was a result of Trump's meeting with Nick Saban. Nick Saban, I love his commercials. I respect his
dang good coach.
I respect the program that he put together.
Made a lot of money.
But I don't know if I want national policy shaped by Nick Saban. That's all.
Let's see here.
Apparently, he appeared on Fox and Friends yesterday, yesterday morning. He appeared on Fox and Friends. He says the executive order provides a huge step in providing the educational model that has always been what we've sort of tried to promote. To create opportunities for players, male and female alike, revenue and non-revenue, so they can have development as people, students, and develop careers and develop professionally if that's what they choose to do. That's what Saban said on Fox and Friends.
Well,
again, this is a
fair statement, though. That's a fair. What he said,
it's fair.
It's fair,
but it's
and you look at the other sports. As I pointed out, part of the operating method of big universities is take the money. I'm sure people are getting their share of it.
Oh yeah,
but also fund these other sports that provide the same educational aspect to other college students.
I don't have a lot of respect for Nick Saban's opinion on NIL based on some of his previous comments, where him and his wife were like, "Why are they saying? I saw that. Why are we doing this job? These kids only care about making money." oh no.
Yeah, I know. I support a family.
What country were they raised in? I'm
Yeah,
shocked that they have
no
that
doubt.
mindset. And that's a bad thing. We tell kids all the time. Just
Has
think about
he changed views
make as
on
much
that?
money as
That was a
possible.
while back, wasn't it? Has he said
that was his last year as a coach. It was 2 years ago.
Okay.
But it seems like he hasn't changed his mindset on that very much.
Because that was ridiculous when I heard that.
The worst
so
part,
ridiculous.
the worst part of the old setup was a coach could preach to his kids, "Hey, we're in this together, team first," and then would ditch out to get a higher paying job elsewhere. And the kids that were recruited by that coach left holding the bag with a new coach that might not even play him. That change, and that's a change for the positive. I'm all about trying to make it good for the athletes where they get their piece and they get the same sort of benefits that the coaches would get. But I wonder if it's gone too far with the transfer portal. I do think college needs some sort of guardrails. I'm just not sure I want Nick Saban to make that rule. That's all.
I'm going to UFC 319 in Chicago, and Dana still hasn't announced the co-main event, and we're 3 weeks away. He's getting incredibly lazy. I think it's time for him to step away. Damn, 314.
Really?
Really?
I never heard anyone say Dana White is lazy.
No, he's not lazy. But that is odd.
I don't understand
People need to know who's fighting.
He sold it. It was his company, right? And then he sold it, but he runs it.
Yeah.
How much
Who
did he
knows?
get?
Oh, God. He's got a lot of money. He is an unbelievable gambler who is not allowed to go in most of the casinos.
That's good to know that
most of the casinos in Vegas have banned him because he'll go there and take the house because he counts cards and stuff. It's interesting. He'll go there and be like, I'll win you guys $50,000. He'll have like a podcast and to him, and he'll do it. And so
just because he wins?
He wins too much. He's counting cards. Imagine being able to do that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so bad. I don't even gamble.
But don't you always hear how gamblers always win, and then you find out
he's notorious.
They lost a lot too.
If you're booted out, you're going to lose. But I think that if you're kicked out of casinos, you're doing something.
There's no not losing his count how much he drinks while he's playing blackjack. Like I've watched him play before.
He's crushing booze.
They stop recording as soon as he's like, guys, I just lost my count. Stop recording. I'm going to lose like 9 hands here because I do not have the count anymore.
Exactly.
They just
get away from me.
They just redid the shoe. I had 3 hands go by and I didn't keep my count at all. I can't believe he's keeping his count while talking to these guys and drinking
and everything. But he's just doing it just to show off. But he'll go there by himself and sit there for 10 hours.
I feel like the places he's going, they're running like 5 shoe decks on an auto dealer, and the shoe's constantly in the auto dealer. So I don't even know how you count against.
Don't even know what that means.
He's not going to these cheap. He's not going to these cheap casinos that still have the shoe on the board and they're pulling from it. And it's a 3 or 4 deck shoe.
All automatic.
It's all automatic in the system, and literally they will discard the cards from one hand and they'll go right into a shuffler. And so I don't even know how you keep count anymore.
Well,
at these high-end casinos.
He's probably going. Who knows where he makes his money? He's probably got a couple little spots that he can creep in, get money, creep out.
I'm not saying.
I don't know.
He's not betting at the Flamingo. Is my point.
Dana is promoting stupid slap fighting and boxing more than the UFC. He is totally unplugged. Jimmy, you don't know what you're talking about. I don't know if Jimmy said anything about that. You said he's lazy.
Okay,
no, I didn't. I said I never heard he was
promoting
lazy.
different companies.
Can you read that again?
Promoting different companies wouldn't be lazy. It would just be.
Can you read that
He's
again?
making money off the slap fights too.
Those are hilarious clips.
I hate watching that.
It's
hate
stupid.
That. Stupid, especially the women.
Can you read that?
Yeah. Dana is promoting stupid slap fighting and boxing more than the UFC. He's totally unplugged. Jimmy, you don't know what you're talking about.
So that's lazy.
I don't remember
doing all these other things. I said I never heard anyone call him lazy.
How can he? I mean, the guy has a lot of things juggling right now,
slap
and they're all
fighting
successful.
Is stupid.
So dumb, but he's making money. Making money off it. People like watching it. I have no idea. Weird stuff. Get him in, by the way, 314-590-3770. We're going to go to break and regroup. It's Friday. It's 100 degrees outside. We're doing our thing in here. We'll be back. Hot Take Central 2.0.
This hour of content on the Lou Information Station is brought to you by Grandpa Pigeons, Johnny Mac's Sporting Goods, and Becky's Carpet and Tile Superstore.
Hey, see that, kids? That's the St. Louis Arch, the gateway to the west.
The Lou Information Station, where we'll always call it Highway 40 or Highway 40 if you're a boomer.
The St. Louis expression?
Stream our content 24/7 at louinfo.com. The Lou Information Station.
Hats off to family fun on Sunday, July 27th, when the Birds host the Padres. That day, 20,000 fans, 16 and older, will get a City Connect throw pad courtesy of Quick Trip. And thanks to Haichu, 10,000 kids ages 15 and under will take home a Cardinals hat with custom charms. Upgrade your and your kiddos' game gear. Snag your tickets today at cardinals.com/promotion.
This is Alec Burleson, St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Summer in St. Louis means one thing: Cardinals baseball. It's more than a game. STL tradition, the crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, the boom of the fireworks. It's the soundtrack to summer for Cardinals Nation. So grab your cap and glove and take your spot in the stands, because in St. Louis, baseball is more than a melody, it's our favorite song.
LouInfo.com news headlines. Brought to you by Brown and Crouppen, 222-2222.
This is your LouInfo.com news update. Accused of crashing his car into a motorcyclist and fleeing the scene of that fatal car accident, has asked the judge to lower his bond. St. Louis County Police say the suspect was leaving a gas station in Earth City, pulled out in the traffic, and caused the fatal wreck. Jennifer Edgering, 54, was riding on the back of a motorcycle, which had a green light at the time. The suspect is in jail on a $250,000 bond, but had a bond reduction hearing on Thursday. A Franklin County man, Matthew Cahill, 41, appeared in federal court Wednesday and was sentenced for committing bank fraud with stolen checks. Prosecutors with the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Missouri said Cahill and 3 others stole personal business checks from outgoing or delivered mail. A U.S. District Court judge sentenced Cahill to 23 months in prison and ordered him to pay $30,737 in restitution. For the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com, I'm Sandy Connor.
Now, louin.com weather. By Sports Central. St. Louis sports. Anytime, anywhere.
Here's your louinfo.com weather update. An extreme heat warning is in effect until 7 p.m. Tuesday, so we have a long stretch of hot and humid weather coming up. Might get a shower or thunderstorm today, and mid-90s, the heat index 105 to 110. Overnight, partly cloudy, upper 70s, and then Saturday and Sunday both look hot and very humid, mid-90s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Fenton Bar and Grill, home of the best trash wings in the St. Louis area and the best servers in town. Fenton Bar and Grill is located on Rudder Road in Fenton, just minutes from the soccer park. Open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., so anytime is a good time to enjoy Fenton Bar and Grill. While you're there, say hi to Chuck, the 2024 Mater D of the Year. And know you'll always be around people that love sports. It's a guaranteed great time at Fenton Bar and Grill. Learn more at fentonbarandgrill.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision. It should not be based solely on advertisements.
Not sure how to get a lawyer after an accident? Call Brown and Crouppen. We'll walk you through it. Worried it'll cost too much? Here's a fact. At Brown and Crouppen, you pay nothing up front, and we never get paid unless you do. When you're our client, you'll have all your questions answered, all for free. Hurt? Get the facts and help you need. Call Brown and Crouppen now.
You've seen this. It's brand new. Are you online?
Oh, hey. Oh, so you're new here.
All right, let's get cracking.
Okay, then maybe you should check out our website.
You're insane.
Well, you download songs illegally from the internet.
louinfo.com. The Lou Information Station. 590 AM KLIS, Wood River, St. Louis.
Our origin story begin.
Back to more of Hot Take Central 2.0 with Cam Jansen and Jimmy the Cat Hayes on the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Yeah, baby, 9:47 on a Friday. Let's go. The Lou Information Station, live and on demand at louinfo.com. We're live on YouTube. at Lou Info on YouTube, Hot Take Central. Just type it in. Boom. It's right there. Waving to you guys now. We have a little bit of a delay. It's going to pop up. No big deal. Check that out. I'm going to get to some of your comments on YouTube as well. If you guys want to chime in before we leave here, it's 314-590-3770. There we are. Hello. Jimmy brought some taffy in, and he's crushing it right now. Some Jersey Shore taffy.
Yes.
Old
saltwater
school.
taffy. Good.
Old school, baby. That's old school right there. Eli, what's on your mind? What pisses you off throughout the day, Eli? I'm just curious. You're a young kid. You're going back to college. What makes you mad on a daily basis? Go.
When people say that they're like ready to do something and then they're not ready to do it.
Oh, I feel like that's something internal. Hello. What do you mean? That one of your jobs, or what are you talking about?
Well, I feel like throughout, but especially at my other job, because, there are certain things that you're supposed to do at certain times, especially as you get towards the end of the night, because I do a lot of closing shifts during the week because I'm here all day. And like, oh, we have to do it by this time. Oh, yeah, I'll be right by that time. The time comes around, like, hey, we going to do this so I can get home or not? Stuff stuff like that. And, there's little things, there's stuff I do on the side, it's.
You're working a lot, though, man. It's good. Hey, why don't you let the big boy and Big Ryan, who's going to be taking your spot, monster, football. Was he basketball or football player?
I know he was a big basketball player, but I imagine with how big he is, he played football in high school as well. But
oh, yeah, he's a big boy. Rosemary Beach is beautiful. I was there recently. Oh, it's the best. That's where you got to go. It's right. It's kind of an easy drive, too. You just go through Nashville, and then Alabama's a very, very long state. And you can't pick up beer at the gas stations. It's a dry county, right, when you roll up there. I made that mistake. But, yeah, it's nice, dude. That's like a go-to. Now, am I going to get a sticker that says 38? No, I'm not.
Jersey, you can't get booze at a gas station either, right?
I don't think so. You have to go to the store. Yeah.
Liquor store.
And there's a lot of restaurants in Jersey that don't sell booze because it costs so much to get your liquor license. But you could go get a bottle of wine.
Bring your own.
Which I don't like that. Like, I like bringing fine. I'll bring my wine in, but like, I want a beer. Like, have that ready. But I think it's just really, really expensive.
Did you, do you like professional wrestling, Eli?
Oh,
I'm a big professional wrestling guy.
Jimmy.
What are your thoughts on Hulk? I'm not.
Obviously, Terry Bollea, the person, had some things happen after his wrestling career, but Hulk Hogan, the wrestler, did a lot of things for the business. Thank him for that. But Terry Bollea, the person, is obviously problematic, but we don't have to get into that.
He was a weird bird.
So we talked about it.
We talked about everything.
We talked about all stuff he did, which, I don't know, when someone...
If you had to rank him.
He apologized for a lot. I mean, there's a lot of bad stuff. And those wrestlers, the lives that they lead before they make it, very hard.
Yeah, no, really hard travel.
I don't dwell on, I'm not a wrestling fan, so I wasn't crying or anything, but.
Remember the movies he had in the 90s? You ever see any of those? Oh, they're hilarious.
No.
Yeah, thought about Paradise Thunder Paradise or something like that, where he's cruising around those big boats down in Miami.
Yeah, and he's as himself in Rocky 3.
That was
wrestling versus boxing.
No, that was
Thunder.
That was Thunder. I didn't know who he was at the time. That wasn't coming out. He wasn't really an actor there. He was kind of playing who he was.
That was basically his Hollywood test, more or less.
But Piper was in a movie.
Oh, yeah,
where
you're right.
He said, "I came here to chew bubble gum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubble gum."
It was weird.
It was weird, but it wasn't bad.
Was it an alien movie?
I don't remember. Yeah, he was like,
that's him?
Yes.
Where he walks into the bank?
Yes. That's Roddy Piper. And I thought, like, a lot of times former NFL stars try being movie stars, wrestlers try. I thought he was pretty good, but I didn't see him in another movie. Maybe I missed it.
Weren't there like clerks, like kind of skeleton face or something, or like an alien face?
No, that's what apparently they had the ability to make people to make themselves look like humans. But if you had this ability, you could see that they were
I see.
Alien.
That's him. Interesting. I did not know that. I mean, The Rock's the one guy I guess he's top of the list as far as revenue. I would say John Cena could be up there.
I will give a shout out. In my opinion, the best former wrestler turned actor is Dave Bautista.
He's doing pretty dang good, isn't he?
He in Knives Out 2, he's fantastic. He's in a lot of things that he's really good in. He's cut a lot of weight from his wrestling days too. He's in really good shape.
Yeah, but are those movies making money? I guess they are if they keep popping out.
I mean, as far as I know, Batista's swimming in it.
I don't think Stone Cold really dipped his toe in too much. I know they had a couple of those where they all came together.
He was in movies. It didn't work.
It didn't work for him.
No.
Same shtick.
He was great in the ring. Studio stuff. I know stuff that like WWE produced.
I follow him on Instagram. It's great. He lives on this Broken Skulls Ranch with the 2 kitty cats, Macho and Pacho.
He's a cat dad.
He's got all kinds of stuff down there. He lives a good life. I don't think he's married. I don't know where his kids are probably older. And he's just in this huge ranch, thousands of acres, and he's cruising around, films himself, hanging out, getting stuff done. I like him. Stone Cold, baby. It was one of my favorites. Let's see. They Live by John Carpenter. Great movie. Oh, They Live by John. Oh, that was a John Carpenter film. Who's notorious.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Dang. I don't know if The Undertaker did too. I don't know. Let's see. I always say this. Watching wrestling is no different than watching a Marvel movie. Guess what? Tobey Maguire isn't really Spider-Man. It's entertaining. I know it's predetermined, but it's no different than being a fan of Succession or Ted Lasso. It's a show. 314.
That's fair.
Yeah, totally fair.
That's fair. Yeah.
That's what it is. It's a show. It's entertainment.
But it always cracks me. I was like, it's predetermined, right? Like, yeah, I've been watching it since I was 11. I'm well aware.
But I do feel like back in the day, people really did think it was real.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like older people, maybe because I lived way out yonder. Yeah, and I probably saw that.
They've also peeled back the curtain. I think I've talked about it on here before. They're doing a Netflix documentary about the writing process.
Oh yeah, I want to see that for sure.
Yeah.
And I've seen specials where they talk about like big moments in wrestling, like the the screw job.
Oh, the Montreal screw job.
Yeah.
And, so that one, there's a little bit of truth to that.
There's writers talking about like these.
Yeah, that's real.
There was a little bit of truth to that, and
Bret the Hitman Hart, baby.
That's something I can get into some other time because we do not have enough time for me to get into that today.
Yeah, that was a big deal, and he was pissed.
No, that was real.
Yeah,
because he was going to a different company, and so Vince went, "You're not bringing my title to a different company. Ring the bell, Sean. You're our new champion."
Yeah, I don't blame him.
And Sean
was in on it. No, he was in on it.
Oh, he was shady.
Sean was in.
Shawn
on
Michaels, he was shady. He taught
and his
the
reward
wrestlers.
is he was put in charge of their development program.
Yeah, that is true.
Shady.
He is in charge of NXT
Vince's guy.
You know who else climbed up the ladder is Triple H, baby.
Yeah, Triple H is in charge of the main roster, and Shawn Michaels is in charge of NXT.
Shawn Michaels doesn't look very good. Triple H still. Shawn Michaels, he can barely talk. I feel like when I listen to him, his interviews,
beat up.
He looks real beat up.
Those guys put their bodies.
He just
had his 60th birthday.
They said that Shawn Michaels was one of the best like in-ring wrestlers, athletic, had the look, had the song come out, the sex appeal. Yeah, he was the man, but he was supposed to be the biggest dick ever.
They said everyone said Ric Flair was one of the greats in ring performance.
Oh yeah,
and they hated that guy who just recently
Goldberg.
passed. They hated Goldberg, and also
Bret Hart and Goldberg hate each other in real life. That's a fun.
There's a lot of hatred that goes on. You hurt a guy in the ring. There's drama going over there. Yeah,
they hated the Ultimate Warrior too because they said he was a gifted athlete who didn't work at it.
Then he started bitching and moaning about his contract, and then he'd go out there and he wouldn't let you beat him up at all, and then he wouldn't stay out there long because he was losing his breath. So they'd be like, no, this is my time to shine too. Let me when I hit you, sell it a little bit.
Can you imagine
I'd be pissed too?
Like you built a career out of being this ferocious ring presence, and they tell you, hey, tonight you're losing.
Yeah.
And you got to do it.
But you're going to lose tonight. You're going to lose tonight. Sell it great. You have to sell it. A lot of guys didn't, man. A lot of guys didn't. What do you got going this weekend, dude? You going to watch Cardinal baseball?
Yeah, I'm going to watch some Cardinal baseball. Going to get a little bit of work in. Get some.
He's been working his ass off, Jimmy. Got to appreciate that. 2 jobs.
Getting ready for school. Yep. I need to get my parking pass.
Yes, you do.
I keep reading that.
You got to get organized.
Also, get your notebooks.
And
what
your
else? Pens and pencils.
There it is.
Your really cool eraser set.
Do you go to Walgreens?
That looks like a race car.
Oh yeah, no, that was
your folders that have a truck on it or something.
Oh, and you have to make sure they're color coded, the right subject.
Yeah.
Math is blue. I will not hear this horse crap out of being red. Math is blue.
Man,
I just want to get that out there while we're talking about it.
Getting your school supplies.
Do you have fun at school? Do you party a lot or no?
No, I just don't have the time between my film club, between broadcasting, between my classes.
You send me a couple clips.
Yeah, but Saturday night, you're at the club, at the bar.
I'm gonna go out with a friend for a little while.
But you don't drink.
But yeah, I don't really drink.
Yeah,
like that,
so you just don't need to be in the scene. That's not your scene, And it's probably good.
What's your fun activity? Like, what do you had an afternoon, we don't have a class, you're all caught up your homework, there's no broad. What do you do for fun?
Probably go out to eat with a couple of my friends.
Okay.
And see if there's.
And you do film.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just asking questions, baby. No big deal. You're going to be gone in a couple weeks, so we're just still trying to get to know you. All right. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Eli. Thank you, Matt Rocchio. We will see you guys Monday. Enjoy the weekend. Let's go. Hot Take Central 2.0.
All aboard!
There's a new way to travel, and it's one of the oldest forms of transportation. Travel by train.